What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Behind the Scene with Tia podcast. This is the second episode, and today I got a little treat for you. We are jumping into a new series called Cheat Codes for Women in Business, and this is going to be fun. This is going to be really fun. I'm going to do some solo dolo episodes. I'm going to do some episodes with interviews, but I really wanted to take some time because your girl missed her year one anniversary in business. Like, y'all, it came and went. It is May, 2nd today? And my anniversary, I want to say, was March 20th. I have been so busy and I have not even taken the time out to celebrate or hindsight or do any of the fun things. But yo, it's been a year. It's been a year that I've been in business officially, right? Officially on paper and with government. So yeah, it's going to be a fun series. So cheat codes for women in business. Like, y'all, there was a lot that went sideways in year one, but there were so many things that went well. And I want to talk about all the things because things that were stumbling blocks for me and learning curves for me, listen, it's cheat codes for y'all. And I am not a gatekeeper, I'm a gate breaker. So today we are going to have my girl T James on the pod, and she's going to be sharing a little bit with us. But listen, she is so dope, and she is also in her first year of business. So I just wanted to have her on here to some of the lessons that she has learned over this past year. And again, providing cheat codes for you all. So it's going to be a great conversation. I'm really excited about what she has to bring to the table. You're going to get to know her very fun personality. I actually met T a few weeks ago at a branding photographers retreat in Kissimmee, Florida, and we hit it off. You know, her personality is just so awesome. She has phenomenal ideas. She's got a great eye, great photographer. And so you're going to hear a little bit more from her. We're going to have some good conversation. And look, I know that you are going to get a ton of great things out of this conversation. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay. I think that means we're live. So what's up, girl? What's up? What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. I am feeling good. A little busy as normal, but it's a good busy.
Yes. So it's been what, like 6 weeks since the retreat? How have you been? What have you been up to?
Gosh. Well, I'm preparing for an event, and it's like my first event, so I'm a tad bit nervous, but not too, yeah, just a little, because I don't do that. I just go for it. I just go,
Yeah.
hey, I put my best foot forward, and we see what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And more than likely, I'm always confident things are gonna go well. So that's just the vibes that I put in the air. So I've been very busy with that. A lot of marketing, a lot of putting out good information. It's a collaborative event with my husband, who's a realtor, but also another realtor. So two different brokerages, and we're just I'm doing like a small short version of a brand session, like a mini session, but instead of it being a mini session, I'm calling it a brand and connect session or event, where there will be several different people coming from all different industries to network, as well as get headshots and a branding session if they so choose to. So I'm a little busy. So I've been busy, but it's good. Getting my email marketing together. I'm really, kind of excited about that because I'm gonna start delving more into blogging. So yeah.
About okay. Yeah, and I've been
Definitely applying all the, lessons learned from the retreat. So
yeah, and I have been seeing it. It's been really, really good. My event, similar to yours, my brand mini and content day is this Sunday. So 2 days from now. Like slightly freaking out just a little bit, but it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
it's just those pre-event jitters that always occur where you're just like, oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't all fall apart. But it's just like 1% of you that feels that way. The rest of you is just like, oh, I'm gonna kill it.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. So that's exciting. I'm super excited for you. I know you're gonna kill it. Like, I just know it.
You as well. I can't wait to see the footage.
Yeah, good. So without further ado, I am super excited that you said yes. And did you know that you are the first guest on Behind the Scenes with you?
No, girl,
So
why
yeah.
you trying to make me nervous and feel special and have the mushiness vibes all at the same time? I'm honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I love it. So the reason why I wanted you to be the first guest is because one, is a brand new podcast. Two, I'm also fresh out of my first year in business, and I know that this is your first year in business. You're coming up on your 1 year. I think you said July 1st, and so you still in it. I'm fresh out. You still in it.
Yeah.
I know we have a lot that we can relate on feelings, emotions, experiences. And so I really wanted to take some time out today and chat about that because lessons for us is cheat codes for others. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. And this is actually going to be the first episode in a series of episodes about cheat codes for women in business. And so I'm super excited to dive in.
Love
Are you
it.
ready?
Love it. Love it. Love what you're doing. Yes.
So tell me and the listeners, what are some of the lessons? I think I asked you for three. So tell us the first lesson that you have learned in your first year in business that you believe will be a humongous cheat code for people who are coming after you.
I'm going to give you the easiest one and the most common one. You don't need a lot of equipment in order to start.
That, yeah,
So to that, I'll also state you don't, nothing has to be, not everything has to be perfect. And
right.
that's what you feel when you're first starting a business. You feel like you're behind. You feel like your website is not up to par. It's not up to standard. It's not even your photography, maybe you're like, oh, it's not right yet. It's not right yet. I came across a lot of photographers that were not ready to start their business. They felt that their photography was not on the level they wanted it to be. So it's chasing that perfection and wanting everything to be pristine and together. And I had to learn to give myself time and space and to get certain tasks completed. So quarterly goals is what I started, because that first few months I was hitting it. I was like, okay, I got to do this. I got to do this type of photography and this, I got to take all these clients. I've got to do this. I've got to get my website together. I've got to get my scheduler together. I need to get, it was just so much.
It's nuts.
But it was like I didn't understand that you can like take your time building a business. It doesn't have to be perfect right out the gate. So definitely you do not have to, I don't need the most expensive camera. That's what I had to learn. I don't need, you don't need those who are listening. You do not need that lens. You do not need, you need, whatever, just pick a camera and go with it and learn it, learn the camera, learn the lens.
Fun with
As
the
far as your
camera.
website, huh?
Fun with the camera you have.
Yeah, seriously. You just really, it's like master one thing, so then you can go on to the next type of thing. I was just trying to do it all. Sites, pay systems, email marketing, like something was going to fall to the wayside, and it did. And it probably took me like 6 months, I want to say, to have my systems in place.
Wow.
And I thought I was behind. It was like driving me crazy, but I got it together. And so even now, like certain goals that I haven't hit yet, I'm just making them goals throughout the year. Like I'll get there when I get there.
What you're talking about is so real because I was there too. I was there too. I switched from Canon to Fujifilm. Why?
Wow.
Why did I do it? I don't even know. I just felt like I needed to upgrade everything, do everything right away, and it's exhausting.
Mhm.
It's exhausting. So, what do you think was the point in which you was like, hold up, wait a minute, let me dial it back, let me run it back because this is not it. What do you think that point was for you?
It was, I was trying to give that in-person feel and vibe with people in order to stand out from having like Zoom calls. And I noticed that I was getting an influx of inquiries and clients, and I could not keep driving to coffee shops every other day. So I know that sounds kind of like an easy fix. Yeah. But the feedback I was getting was, I like that you took the time to sit with me and to talk to me and to be more personable, because I'll call people and they'll just be giving me the song and dance of this is what I can do. This is what kind of like a bullet point. This is what I do. I charge this much, this many pictures, this and that. And I was literally like sitting with them and like, tell me about your business. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about like, where did you come up with this service? There's, because I'm all about stories.
Yeah,
So what's the story behind you wanting to start your business and actually having a conversation? So, but because of how I was having so many inquiries and I just couldn't keep running all over the Dallas area, I went ahead and started doing, virtual calls. But I still do the same thing. I approach it the same way. I still speak to people. I want to know what they're about. I want to know really, because if they decide not to book with me, either way, I want to know what's going on, what they're doing. I want to know about their business. I'm a big supporter of business owners, like in small business owners, women business owners, everybody, so I still have a genuine interest in what they do. So
I love
yeah, so that was one of the things that was like, okay, I need to find a way to I don't know, combine,
it.
some of the things I do so I can streamline the processes better. So,
Absolutely. And that is a good way to avoid the burnout that comes along with trying to get to everything, make it to everything. Yeah, you don't have to do everything all at once. You don't have to do everything right away. And so that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson
mhm.
for everybody listening. Like we're telling you, like you don't have to.
Seriously, you don't. And you will learn, like, if you want more equipment, then, I don't know, take some courses or really think about what you need, because that is nerve wracking too, trying to decide what equipment to buy, what lighting to buy, strobes, all this good stuff. Do I want to do natural light? Do I want to specialize in this? As you develop in your business and in your craft, you will naturally start gravitating towards what is natural to you and what your style is. So you
Absolutely.
don't have to, because then, like most, well, I don't know if it's most photographers. I guess it is because it's such a common advice. But you buy all this equipment and then you don't use it. I have a strobe, this huge strobe, and I barely use. Like, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I bought a few things and I find myself like at photography resale shops, sending it out to B&H to sell it because one, I don't have anywhere to put it. And two, like, what am I going to do with this? So that's a good one, sis. That's a good one. So the first one we have accomplished. The second lesson, what is another lesson that you learned over this past year in your business?
Well, segue, I guess, from the first lesson, you don't need a whole lot of equipments, but narrow it down to what it is that you know that you need. So I, noticed I needed to streamline my processes, right? So I would say find a system that works for you that will streamline your business, like everything that you want to, give in your business, something, whether it's an app or some type of scheduling system, a CRM, something. To me, I'm always for an all-in-one type of thing. Like if I can do a scheduler and get an invoice out of it and get the pay system and
Oh,
what
yeah.
else, you know,
Thanks.
like all of that. Like that's what I want to do. And I did not have that at first, so I found one and I got it. That's what took me a while to do. It took me about 6 months to really get a system that worked for me where I'm like, oh, okay, I got it now. I can do a virtual call and I can do the invoice and I can do the contract and everything's coming from the same place, and then my website's separate, but still it's like
Beats it.
it's just two different things. And then not only that, I'm getting older, I'm a little older. I'm over 40, so yeah, it's a little, the learning curve is a little slower these days. Ashamed to admit that. So I had a little help trying to get these systems together. And that's another thing. Hey, if you need to outsource, out
Yes.
tell you.
Have a whole episode just on outsourcing.
I'm trying to tell you because, like, you have a family or a mother, if you still have a full time job, it is a lot to deal with. So if you need to outsource. Hey, because so that's what I did. I did have somebody put the systems together and then taught me how to run it myself.
I love that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I will roll up to the delegation station. Okay. Listen, I had to learn like that you don't have to do everything yourself. It's okay if you invite others in to help you to piece things together. That is such an important lesson. You ain't never lied because listen, I was driving myself nuts with my website. I switched from Squarespace to Show It, thinking I was just going to put the thing together. And they're like, oh, it's so user friendly. It is not. It is not.
I was just about to ask you how easy was it?
It wasn't. But
It's beautiful. I mean, they're beautiful websites. But it's like, okay, so who put this together for you? Because,
and
yeah,
today, I
it's just,
still have not figured out how to get the blog part working. My blog is outside of my website and there's a link to it. Okay. Because I was just like, forget that. But I love that you are bringing that up because I think so many people, myself included, we fall into this trap thinking if I don't do it, it's not going to get done right. And if I don't do it, then it's going to get done how I want it. But I wanted to roll it back because you said another thing that was really important. You got all your systems in place and you used somewhat of an all-in-one tool. What are you using?
Dubsado.
Ah, Dubsado. I like it.
So Dubsado is my like scheduler, CRM type of tool. For invoice, and Stripe is what I use for payments is connected to it. You can also connect to your Google Calendar, which is great. That's actually a lifesaver. So now when I get inquiries, it goes straight to Dubsado, which will go straight to my calendar. And it'll give me, I have it set up where it gives me alarms. So it'll tell me 24 hours before and 30 minutes before my call. And if I didn't have that, there would be a lot of lost clients. Because let me tell you, I can't, I put stuff in my calendar, but I'll forget to put stuff in my calendar, and girl, it's a whole mess. But yes, so that was a big deal. Just getting that scheduler together so people are able to schedule calls with me, and I'm able to look at it, see what I got going on, and it's already incorporated with my regular Google Calendar and Microsoft Calendar. It just depends on which one I want to use. So I like that. It's very user friendly once you start using it, though. I mean, like contracts, it has its own client portal, so they can go ahead and every document, contract, invoice, any kind of documents that I make or guides or anything that I make, I can upload into their client portal, and they have a password, and they're always able to go to it. And I can email it, or I can have the link and text it to them if I need to. So it's kind of quick. And I just learned. See, I'm still learning. It's like
Oh,
I got it implemented. Yeah, I had it implemented in December. I just learned how to do a direct booking link instead of me sending them the contract and everything. I got it now on the scheduler. I can make a link. I made a whole landing page on my website where they can go to the website, they can hit the link, and they can go ahead and they can pay their 50% deposit, and they can go ahead and put a time frame and everything. Yeah, girl. I'm still kind of learning the email workflows though, I ain't gonna lie.
that's
Yeah.
the hard part. But you see this dog right here? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you there's
You can tell me that. I kicked mine out I can see her at the door.
hilarious? But yes, that's a cheat code for real because anything that you can streamline so that you're not missing things left and right, or you don't have to have 17 different systems, that's expensive. It's expensive to have the 17 different things. But if you can have it all in one,
And that's another thing. It's like never perfect either, because then you're like, oh, I want to have a pop-up on my website, right? So you use Show It. I use Pixie Set.
okay.
Well, Pixie, I can't figure out how to put a pop-up on it. Somehow the code, I don't know.
The
I don't
embed,
know.
yeah, that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah, it's a digital language. I don't even know what it means. All I know is that I can't get it popped up. So, but I'm gonna work on it. So those are two things I'm still working on: the email workflows, and yeah, and the pop-ups.
I know you're gonna get there, girl. I know you're gonna get there.
Hey, but slowly but surely.
So now that we've made you the ambassador for Dubsado, maybe we can get them to sponsor your next event.
Same.
Love it. But that's a really good one too. And listen, we might not just be able to stop at 3. We might have to keep going because you're dropping some gems. Now I know that we were chatting before and you were telling me you learned about contracts and things like that. So is that another lesson that you learned along the way? And if so, tell us about it.
Oh yeah, girl. So I had a client that booked with me and then rescheduled, which no big deal. She needed to reschedule, no problem. But there's a lot of planning that's involved in a photo shoot, a brand photo shoot at that. I make sure that I have a clear understanding of the vision, of the business, of the brand messaging, everything that we talk about wardrobe, we talk about brand colors, we talk about everything that is needed for this photo shoot, and we prepare for it at least 4 to 6 weeks before. Sometimes it'll be 3 weeks. It all depends on their time frame and my schedule, but I try to at least a minimum of 4 weeks. We had this scheduled about 2 months, went through all the processes, planning, the strategy, and she rescheduled. Well, I thought that was pretty inconvenient for me. And then not only that, she rescheduled 3 months later.
Oh,
Right. So still, I'm like, okay, no big deal. Put her on the calendar. She paid her deposit. Cool. Put her on the calendar. But then she canceled 2 days before that. So the lesson in both of those was before she canceled the second time, 3 months later after the first time, I went ahead and added a rescheduling fee and I added a cancellation fee. So the learning lesson in that is people need to value your time just like you value theirs. You know,
absolutely.
and I think this is being transparent. When you're new in your business, you want everything to be perfect. Well, you also feel like you have to please all your clients and you have to meet all their needs, even to sacrifice your own business values. And you shouldn't,
No,
in my opinion.
agree.
So, I mean, so that's one of the things too, is like you want to, of course, you want to meet your clients' needs, but at the same time, they need to value your time and the planning and the work that you already put into the shooting. So I would say that that's one thing, is to tweaking my contracts in a manner that works for both client and the photographers. So
Great. Yeah, that is so important. And I myself have run into this more than once. And so like you were saying, first year, you're building your client base, you're trying to get up and
Mhm.
running, you're trying to, build everything. And you
Mhm.
want to be able to take everyone. You want to be able to provide your services to everyone. But honestly, number one, not everybody is your ideal client. Number two, the average person doesn't understand all of the things that go in and on behind the scenes, right?
Right.
And
Right.
so part of the reason why I started this podcast, because people just do not know. They don't know everything that it takes, not just to run a business, but to run a branding photography business and to have a whole life and everything else outside of that. And so I really wanted to dive into this piece a little bit more because I think it's important. I think it's important that we shed that light on the fact that we also, not just business owners, we're women. We have lives, we have families, we have jobs,
Mhm.
we have other things happening, and it is a super inconvenience when people do not consider that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's how I look at it. Because I mean, I spend a lot of my time explaining brand photography and the value and the experience of booking with me. Like, we don't just show up and take pictures and that's it. There is a whole planning process and strategy, and we discuss things. I need to know more about you and your vision and what it is you want these photos to convey, in order to take the right photos. I can't just show up and pose you and tell you what to do. You're helping me as well as I'm helping you. It's a team work effort. And so there's a lot that goes on before and after the photo shoots. And I get it, things happen. Like, I totally get it. Like we said, we're women, we're mother. Yeah, things are going to happen, things are going to come up. But just know that, you canceling or rescheduling last minute is costing my business, funds, because I could have had another photo shoot. I could have had a different client in that space. So it's an inconvenience. But yeah, I mean, I will respect your time, respect mine too.
So now that you have those contracts in place, have you noticed a shift in how your business bookings and things like that go?
So I'm new in the business. So I'll say yes and no, because I've changed my deposit. I raised my deposit as well. So what I noticed is when you raise your deposit, people opt to book, right then, like right then they'll book or they're not. It all depends. And you kind of weed out the serious. I've never really take a no as a no. I take it as a not right now, because I'll have a lot of clients that are like, okay, well, I will keep that in mind. But when you have the deposit up front, you have well, one thing I still need to change though is when the final payment is due. I'm going to make that a little bit more before the actual date of the photo shoot. So,
Okay.
but it helps people accountable at the end of the day.
Yes.
You know, Contracts just keep them accountable. Like, this is when your payment is due. This is you got to honor my terms and conditions for my business. And what I noticed too, and this is just other people have heard this, listeners, I'm sure you guys have heard this. We don't treat big businesses like we treat the small businesses sometimes.
Yeah.
And we should. You're not going to get that from a larger corporation where, hey, so I can't pay the deposit today. at booking, but I can pay you next week. Okay, well then I'll put you on the books next week then when you pay the deposit. But you don't see that so much. You can't really come to the large corporates. They don't negotiate. It's
Not
just
at all.
their terms and conditions are their terms and conditions. Oh, same thing with your photographer. We have a terms and conditions, we have a contract, and yeah, and that's how we run our business. So
That's right.
it's
That's
like running
right.
a business.
Listen, you are dropping all the gems. I am telling you, like
I
lessons
know.
that
I haven't been in
were
business a year.
right. And it's crazy because there's so many women who have gone before us who maybe it's taken them a little bit longer to come to those conclusions. But I love that we're talking about this right now because we are saving somebody time, effort, energy, lost peace, you know?
I like to think so, but at the same time, hey, you run your business the way that you run your business, because I feel like you will learn. And my thing was, let me put these systems in place now before I get too deep into my business and have recurring clients. Because when you have good practices in place for your business, then it'll continue that way. It's like the tone you set. So I didn't want to just let stuff slide too much because then I'm going to be sliding for how many more clients. So I was like, let me do this now.
Yeah. Absolutely. I'm the same way. Let's get the foundation set. That way we don't gotta build on things that aren't sturdy. So I know that we were having a chat about some other things. What is another lesson that you had to learn? And it doesn't have to be something that you learned the hard way. It could just be something that you learned like, oh, okay, that's something I didn't know before and something I can know going forward.
Um, ooh, well, you throwing curveballs now.
I'll help you out a little bit. So previously we were talking about the fact that as women, and especially women in business, we don't give ourselves enough grace. And I know that one hit home for you. So talk about that a little bit.
That's where my mind was going. With all that said, the system place and all the business chaos that we deal with all the time, that's like the boring stuff, like that's the not so fun stuff about photography,
Agree.
or having a photography business. The fun stuff is all the people that I meet, all the different businesses and organizations, and I meet such a variety of people on a regular basis and acquire them as clients, and I just love learning from them. So I will answer that part. That's one thing, is that I enjoy just learning from other people, and I'm genuinely proud of my clients and their accomplishments, because it takes a lot of courage to start a business, but to go after your dreams and your passions. We all know people who never did that, who never took the time or took that chance or took that risk to follow their dreams and their passion. We probably are even related to people
Yeah.
who never really went towards that because they thought maybe it wasn't attainable. They thought they weren't ever going to be successful. I don't know. But either way, I'm so proud of the clients that I come across and I learn from them. And I hope they're learning from me, and we're able to pour into each other. So I'll say the grace that I give myself is that I'm still learning. I am new at the business, but I am still learning from other people, regardless if it's about photography or not. It's
Yep.
just from their life experiences. They motivate me. They help me. They give me cheat codes sometimes. I'm some semi new to the Dallas area. I've been coming back and forth to Texas my whole life, but I've been living in the Dallas area now for a year and a half. So I'm still getting out and meeting people, and I'm just fascinating with the type of businesses that we have: small businesses, nonprofits, a whole lot. So I'll say that, yeah, I'm giving myself grace for being a new business owner, for being over 40, actually being, I'll say at the age of 44,
Oh,
starting my very first business.
yeah.
That was last year. I'm 45 now, but uh, I give myself a lot of grace because not everybody does it. And kudos to those who do. I think it's dope. People who get out there and they jump off that cliff. They just do it. And that's kind of how I am, and I am too. So, but it took me a while, but I did it.
Yeah, well, I am extremely proud of you, and I have to say I love what you're doing. I love what you're doing, and I love how passionate you are about it. I think that that's something that's missing in a lot of businesses that I'm seeing now is the passion behind it, and some of that stuff gets lost in the hustle and bustle of owning a business. And, sometimes things get old, but I love to see the joy that I see in you when you're doing what you're doing. And I love to see the joy in your clients because I've been watching, girl. I've been watching. I know you've been spitting that content out like fire. So, and still working.
Girl, that's a whole nother job. That's a job in itself.
Yes. And doing the content for your husband. So you are doing it. You are doing it. And I know that the people watching, the good and the bad, everybody's learning something from what you're doing. And so you should be very proud. You're killing it. And I'm so excited to continue to see what you are going to do down the road. We'd probably be talking again a whole nother year from now about some things you learned in year two. I love that reel about some of the roadblocks. Here's some of the challenges that I came up on. And here's what we did to address it, and here's where we are now. So, I think that is it for now. But is there anything else that you want to leave the listeners with? Any other short cheat codes?
Goodness, cheat codes, cheat codes. Just be yourself at the end of the day. Like that resonates with clients so much more than your photography, really. I mean, you can have the best photos in the world, like best, beautiful, breathtaking photos in the world. But if your attitude is kind of stank, or if you haven't worked on your customer skills, your client skills, or
Soft
just
skill.
kind of, yeah, just working on yourself, I should say, actually. You're thinking you have to be one way, but really you just gotta like be authentic, be yourself, have conversations and things like that. People don't buy into your service, they buy into you.
Right.
People buy into people. So that's like the biggest cheat code. That's what I tell my clients all the time. I mean, just be yourself and know your worth
Know your worth.
all day. Know your worth and add tax, because it is something to be proud of, to be a business owner, to produce your art and to collaborate with business owners and clients. You deserve to be celebrated. You need to know your value. You need to know your worth.
Absolutely. Listen, okay? You're about to make me get up and shout. Oh, your worth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. But
But
thank you so much, though, Tia. This was great, and I love what you're doing as well. And I've been watching you as well. And I told me about the podcast, girl. I didn't know it was going to be this quick, but I'm glad that you put it out there and you're doing it. You are taking that initiative to go after what you feel is dear to you, which is helping others, giving them the cheat codes, helping other business owners, which is so needed. You and I both know that mentorship is big. Probably one of the best investments was investing in a business mentor, our business mentor. Yeah.
hands down, I
Yeah.
say. But while we wrap it up, I do want everybody to know where to find you because I know where to stalk you at, girl, but they don't. So tell them where they can.
Well, T James Photography, that's TEE James Photography.com. Also, T James Photography on Instagram, T James on LinkedIn and Facebook. But Facebook just play. But the website, Instagram, that's pretty much where you'll find me.
Okay, I'll be checking in after your event. I'll be giving you a little side eye emoji on your events, like what's happening over here. But
Yes,
uh,
yes, tune in for all the content.
I am rooting for you. Thanks again, and I'll be chatting with you soon.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, sis. Catch you later.
Bye.
Yo, listen, see, I told you it was going to be a great conversation. And I am so glad that y'all decided to tap in with us today to just sit in and listen. And I'm sure you could probably relate to some of the things that were said. I'm sure that you might have either experienced some of the things that were talked about or you're on your way to experiencing some of the things that were talked about. No matter where you are in your business, there is always, always, always so much knowledge to gain. And furthermore, it's extremely important to take a moment to just look back at those lessons because once you know better, you do better. Once you do better, clients start rolling in. So again, thanks for joining us today. It's been real. Tap back into the next couple episodes. Just know that this series, Lessons to Cheat Codes, it's going to be dope. I don't even know how long it's going to be. I just know that it's going to be dope. There's this old saying, something along the lines. Now, listen, don't quote me. I'm just gonna paraphrase, but it's something along the lines of like every time you enter a place or every time you go somewhere, you should leave the place and the people better than when you first found it. And so that's what I'm doing with you guys. I want you to have all the things so that you can go and be successful, so that you can go and make it happen in your world, in your sphere of influence. That's what it's all about. So without further ado, I'm gonna let you hop off. I look forward to rocking with you next time. Love and peace.